Thursday, November 9th, 2023. Please go back and check out last night's episode of the Articulated Comic Book Art Podcast, our Wednesday midweek episode. All 4 members were back, although Rick had to cut out early. A couple things I actually forgot to mention in terms of news. We did get an update that his tanks are about to ship. I know they're trying to get those out before the end of the year. Also, shout out to A Toy Kind of Mood. Shout out to Trav at A Toy Kind of Mood. I see he put up a review for the General Hulk figure. That looks phenomenal. So you should check that out. G.I. Joe, they're killing it, man. A.C.B.A. And speaking of Joe's, I actually did get the SDCC exclusive Chuckles figure. He's somewhere in this pile of stuff that I need to open. Yes, I will be reviewing some of this stuff here, so I'm looking forward to that. Opening up my toys, playing with them, experiencing them for the first time with you at the same time. You know, that's how I like to review. I think I might do an early raffle for the His Tank on my Instagram, early enough to actually make the address that it will go directly to your address. So look out for that probably tomorrow. It should also be noted a couple of important pre-orders that came out of MCM Comic Con were Metalhead and Mutt and Junkyard. We talked about that a bit on the podcast last night as well. Mutt, Junkyard, that duo, chef's kiss, phenomenal. Doubling back to the Mezco Golden Age Joker, which went up for pre-order on Mezco's site yesterday. I talked about that yesterday. We also talked about it on the podcast. It actually went up for pre-order on Big Bad Toy Store as well today. So a link for that will be in the description below. Looks like they put up another new pre-order for the Amazing Fantasy 15 Spider-Man, although the updated version with the blue spider emblem on the back is starting to show up in collectors' hands and on their shelves and what have you. Also, there's a sale going for the Mafex T800 or Terminator 1 Terminator. I think that's what it is, $64.99. Looks like Mafex been putting quite a few things on sale and reissuing a lot of stuff too. So if you noticed yesterday when I ordered the Sentinel Spider-Gwen, I had a couple of Mafex Catwomans on my pile of loot there. You know, one is for me, one is for my boy Ed. And that was a re-release or reissue. Really happy I was able to snag that Catwoman. Rick is always touting that Catwoman as one of the best female 6-inch figures of all time. As most of you know, last week, for over a week, I was actually in Paris, vacationing with the wife. A huge part of our trip was dedicated to the arts, to the museums. You know, I'm always grabbing inspiration from the museums for displaying. I had showed this on my Instagram, but this was a picture of Mark Rothko, who had an exhibit going while we were out there. And I snapped a picture of this because he kind of looked like Charlie Cox to me right here. It looks like Netflix Daredevil. But I'm always fascinated by the little dioramas and stuff that you will find in certain museums and what have you. This right here is actually a little small replica of champagne, because we went out to Champagne, obviously, to drink champagne and to go deep into the underground to learn about the process for making wine, making champagne. But the site that we visited, it was also an art installation. So there was some art pieces down there as we went through the tour and learned about the history and all the specifics. And I thought that was very cool. One of the days we went out and visited this church above the city. And inside the church, they had a replica of the church. This looks really cool. I'll always be forgetting to bring a little Ant-Man or Godzilla or something with me. But while we were up there, we visited this small, tiny little restaurant that we had to have a reservation for. My wife had made the reservation like a week before we even got out there. Delicious. I got to remember the name of this place. But we had the onion soup, the escargot, wine. We had some confit as well. Duck. I don't know where the footage of the duck is. Maybe I'll be able to splice it in here. Steal it from my wife's phone. But yeah, a couple of Marvel Legends that you saw in that pile of figures were purchased in Paris. I talked about that on another update. I snagged one of the Tracksuit Mafia dudes and Joe Fixit Hulk. I don't think I showed all of the footage from inside one of those anime shops, but all of the locations that I visited in terms of comics, manga, anime, import figures, and domestic figures were well stocked, stacked. That aspect of the trip was wonderful. I actually bought some stuff from New York to Paris that I tried to ship to Paris for a prize that got sent back. It had cost me like $70. It got sent back. But when I realized I was going out there, I said, I'm gonna bring this stuff with me. I brought it with me and mailed it from out there. It was only $9 to get to my man Jed. So shout out to him. Glad you received the package. I received your message.
I'm in the game, I'm grinding, I got to play 24 hours in a day, 7 days out the week, I never sleep. I'm on my grizzly bear, 52 weeks out the year, yeah.